Work session?
All members present?
No, everyone wants to get that run for some reason, I don't think. They must put
If you
tape
have a
back.
copy of an agenda before you, the public hearing that for advertisement is going to be changed to October 7th at a 2 PM meeting in Town Hall.
September 9th, all members present.
This is the advertisement supervisor?
Yes, the one that says advertise for public hearing.
October 7th?
Yes.
Okay.
And under public hearings, we have two today that never made the agenda. Don't ask me why they didn't make
Is
it.
one of them school-age childcare?
I don't think so. But here's the other one. One is Alder Drive.
Oh, clean up that property
Yeah.
maintenance?
Matthew, do you have that one? Alder Drive. And there's also one for the VTL. Okay,
Would you
it's a public hearing.
consider another read-on this afternoon
All of them, yeah, anyone.
for school-age childcare? I'll get you the
Fine.
details,
No,
all right?
no, we
She,
will,
by
sure.
her own admission, got it in too
Because
late.
we have other ones. So there'll be a public hearing today, no, an advertisement for public hearing, is that right, Matthew?
No, this,
They were advertised, so we're holding the hearing on Alder Drive to enter onto the premises there, for the cleanup, that one. And the other one is, which I don't have, Matthew took it yet, here it is, no, it's not. Is there one to change the code on,
To amend the traffic code.
to amend the traffic code, do you have that one?
Yes, we have it, but
they were both advertised for today
Yeah,
at 2 o'clock.
so we have to,
I verified with the town clerk that
Okay.
they were advertised.
There was
so
a minute track
let's
problem
begin
where
again,
the
okay.
system wouldn't take it.
What you have on your agenda about advertising for public hearing for the 25th is changed to 2 PM at Town Hall on October 7th. Two public hearings we will be hearing today is to amend the traffic code as it relates to vehicles and traffic, as it relates to recreational vehicles and penalties. And the other public hearing going on here, I just said, is the Alder Drive. To enter on the premises is Alder Drive. In addition to that, we'll have four now, Bob, with yours added on. A transfer of funds to cover the purchase of a vehicle, a release of $50 from the St. James Water District, and another one, transfer of funds in the Water District. So there's also one missing. There's one on a sale of auction equipment. Do we know where that is?
no, I don't have that.
I will see if we can get that. I mean, the funds are already, it was auctioned already, and then there's a part-time appointment of an account clerk in the Smithtown Water District. So those are the ones that will get read on. I hope you understood what I said here, didn't?
I got it.
You got it all, right?
Test me
Okay.
later.
So it started at 8:30 this morning with this. So you're gonna get me that one?
I'll
Bob,
get
to
that
put it
for
up
you.
there, and we'll read that on.
I'll have her call Marlene.
No, I didn't get my work
Directly.
folder. Do you
What do you
mind if I
need?
go get my work folder? I got 3 things in there we need to talk about. So I have to go
Call
get it.
Marlene.
Yeah, call. No, I'll go get it. It's all
Want
right.
me to call and tell her to bring it up?
It's on my desk.
It's on your desk? Claire, would you have someone bring the supervisor's work folder and it's on his desk? Thank you.
He's just told me. By the way, you look very good in yellow.
Where did you see me?
What's his name, Mike? Rob Baffert showed me the picture.
Oh.
I must be on the beach. I'm sorry about that. A little discombobulated today. Oh, and the other read-on is the cancellation of the meeting on the 25th.
Do we know what we're rescheduling that to?
We're not going to reschedule, of course, there's a public hearing here, is the only one that was on, and,
Next week, isn't it?
yeah,
So you're not gonna have a meeting till
10/7.
till October, and if there should be a lot of agenda items, you can call a special meeting.
Yeah, Mr. Shea?
Yeah, is there any possibility of an earlier meeting for
What is yours?
Prospect Sports.
Prospect Sports?
Neg
We
deck.
have some very significant
Okay, I'll
comments.
tell you what, and when was that scheduled for? The 25th?
Well, we were.
Hoping
the
today.
assumption we were gonna have the neg deck, today, and.
Oh, it's not here.
It wasn't completed.
I
Okay.
could call over to environmental,
Well,
maybe they
well,
can get it for
listen,
today.
let me just say this to the board too. I can call a special meeting whenever, within a week, 7, 8 days. We'll put all the things on that are missing and any other agenda items that come forth to make up for the meeting we canceled. So you could look forward to something next week or the week after, okay?
That would be fantastic.
Call me and I'll give you the date.
That would be
Okay,
greatly appreciated.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, you guys.
Okay, you're welcome.
And maybe Russ can get it finished today for
Give
this
him a
afternoon.
call
And
and
I'll
see.
call him, see if we can have it for today as a read-on.
That would be great. Takes forever.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
yeah, if you can get it for a read on, yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody agree with that?
sure.
Sure.
Did my folder come here? Yeah.
Told me you couldn't.
Let's
Okay,
try.
we all got a memo from DeRuby's, there's a request from, St. Catherine of Siena to waive, let me just, okay, you know, Wiedemann Associates is asking the board to consider waiving the requirement for submission of a full petition because the proposed modification is small in comparison to the entire hospital site, and because it is at the rear of the main hospital building facing a parking lot, and therefore not visible from the street or neighboring residents. And they believe that the proposed modification will not have an impact on the surrounding area. The planning department has no objection to waiving the petition process and reminds the board and the architect that regardless of whether the matter goes before a town board or a special exception petition, a site plan exemption application will be required. I spoke to David Flynn this morning, and he supports the waiver.
I'm fine with that.
Okay?
Fine.
Okay.
Fine with it.
That's all, other than all the changes I gave you folks today. Does anybody have anything?
I think you have Matt, you need Matt for executive session
Executive session.
on this matter. That was in our folder.
We have Joe too here to discuss the damage to the files from the flooding.
Okay, did you want to come up, Joe?
And then after that, I'd like to ask Matt a question on
Yeah.
some property.
Good morning, Joe.
Morning, Joseph.
I think you're all aware, and the town clerk sent 2 memos to you about damage to
Yes.
documents here. We've been back and forth with the vendor he selected, and we feel that we need to proceed with an emergency purchase for services rendered to date, which is going to amount to about $31,000. The vendor was contacted because of the imminent and unforeseen need to preserve those vital records,
Yeah,
and the documents were taken off-site and put in, I'm not technical about it, some sort of cryogenic vault to prevent further decay and to dry them out. We then, as a township, need to decide how to move forward with those documents in terms of the restoration process. Some of the documents were from this building. which
oh,
were-
well, first stay
Yes.
with the money. So we have to allocate 31,000 to this vendor.
For services rendered
Rendered.
to
And,
date.
and the, Matthew, you agree that constitutes an emergency payment?
Yes.
Okay, so all you need to do is contact the controller and get a resolution for that next meeting to get the payment made, okay?
Okay.
I'm sorry for interrupting, now you can go on.
That's okay. Then we need as a township to make a decision as to how to go forward with restoring these documents if we choose to, because it can be a very, very expensive process. And we got some ballpark estimates on that from the vendor. We need to get our arms around exactly what was sent and whether or not they were vital records, important records, records that were potentially slated for destruction in the near future, before we inform the vendor to go ahead and do it, because it can be a very surprisingly expensive process.
Those are town clerk records?
Some were from the town clerk's office, many of them came from 40 Maple Avenue.
The assessor.
The assessor and the comptroller.
So then, isn't it incumbent upon those department heads to tell you which ones they need?
I think it's
To
incumbent
restore?
upon those department heads to let the board know what they need.
Right, and then we can figure out a plan of action.
Indeed.
Okay. So are you going to take care of that, inform those two department heads?
I will do that. I will
Okay.
prepare a resolution, you're saying, for the next scheduled board
If we
meeting?
can get it done by then, yes.
Okay, well, we can certainly get it done by then.
Okay.
And the vendor should be told to just keep the documents literally on ice until then?
Until he is told which ones he has to restore. Correct?
You need to tell me.
Well, I can't tell you because I don't know. Those two gentlemen have to tell you,
Okay,
okay?
fair enough.
Joseph, could you explain to me, what do you mean by restore them?
The documents got wet.
They've been dried out.
They've been frozen. They need to be fumigated. There is evidently some mold issues involved. The documents can either be electronically
And he
reproduced
lied to me.
or photocopied and reproduced. Some of them are vital
I think
records,
that's
according to
disgusting.
Vinnie Pulio, and need to be
We'll see.
restored. Others may not be vital records
Okay.
and may or may not need to be restored.
He's gonna try. Well, we can't.
All right, so the issue would be mold and things such as.
Mold,
Okay,
right,
all
and
right.
just, the extent of the damage, which is
Okay.
another phase of services that this vendor would provide to assess the damages, which is not included in that $31,000,
Okay.
Okay, it has to be done,
apparently, to an extent.
yes. And once we know the documents and the amount and the cost, we'll get it done. But that information can only be provided by the clerk and the assessor. Okay?
Okay,
You're gonna handle that?
I will advance it, but
Okay.
I don't know that I can necessarily handle it.
All right, you'll advance it. Who's the liaison to the assessor? And I think I'm the liaison to the clerk, am I? I don't know, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. So we'll get it done.
Fair enough.
Okay, you could remind me, okay?
Thank you.
Joe, all those files are being frozen.
They are frozen.
So the assessor and the comptroller have to go into the frozen files, pull them out and see which ones they want to save? Is that how it works?
That would be potentially one way to do it. The files are in Rushville, New York, which is in the Finger Lakes area.
They went up to Rushville, New York?
That's where they are.
So okay.
Another way of doing it is to pay the vendor to do an assessment and an inventory of what's there. That would be an additional service at an additional fee, which speaks to my point about the township needing to make a decision on how to proceed, because it can be a very, very costly endeavor.
We have insurance for that, or deductible's too high?
I think the latter is the case,
The-
deductible too high. Okay?
Okay, very good.
Thank you. Matthew, did you have anything for executive session? Yes, that one.
That was that one thing I just
That
gave
one
you.
matter?
I need to ask Matt, I want
Oh.
to talk about the property in Kings Park, which was a proposed parking lot. And Matthew has been in contact with the owners of the property, and we have to come to a decision somewhere along the line. First of all, if we are going to accept the price that he sets down, but I don't think we have a price. So-
Well, we've tried to reach each other by telephone, and that's been unsuccessful. So what I did last week was send out a letter and ask him to respond in writing by next Wednesday
Is that a final?
with a final determination.
All right, so we don't have an answer yet, and we should have it by next Wednesday.
Yes,
But Matt, we had an appraisal,
yes,
but he wants more?
yes.
Our appraisal is 230.
230,
He was talking, what, 270?
279.
Seems like they could logically split it down the middle, but so far the man hasn't agreed.
And, Matt,
And then we'd have to decide if we're going to do it.
right, but I know, I don't know if this is even doable, but is there a way to do that more cost-saving if we did a lease with them, or is that not really even in the, is that something that would be better? We did that, I know, in St. James by Spages, the town went into a lease with the owner. Is that something that would be better for the taxpayers, but yet the downtown would,
Oh, we have a number of those lease agreements throughout the town.
but
Yeah, we have a-
economically, what would be better? Or is that not your bailiwick? Is that more for the controller to answer?
Well, usually we pay a dollar rent, but we agree to construct, maintain, indemnify the property owners.
So would we have an analysis of what would be better, purchasing or leasing?
Uh,
If we all decided that that was the way to go? Well, no, I know that.
Yeah, that-
I'm just throwing it out there, only because I know we've done it.
Well, it's a possibility, I just haven't discussed it with them.
No, I'm wondering if maybe that's a more cost-efficient way to go, and maybe that would be agreed upon, maybe not. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give us some idea.
Yeah, generally, it's to the benefit of both parties. We want municipal parking, and it's a property owner that has a business that needs the parking, and that's not the case here. But it's still a possibility.
Maybe you could just give us an idea.
Yeah.
I know you need more work like a hole in the head,
Well, I'll gladly do it.
but I'm sure. Well, we just have to do due diligence,
Yeah, sure.
that's all.
Okay, that's it. I'll move to end the
Yeah,
executive
he has,
session.
you can go into
Well, this,
executive.
we have to go into
Yeah.
executive.
Okay, I move to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Well,
He doesn't pick up his phone?
No, the guy that owns the property.
He's ready.
I thought you
Okay,
were
go.
talking about the golf course.
You're set.
I move to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.